Is this live? Is this already happening? I don't really know what's going on. I don't even know if I'm on the right page. There's no one here. Is it too early? Fuck you guys. You know what? I show up. Been up since 3:45. I show up early, and no one's here to greet me. Not even a word yet. Dude, I have not been able to sleep. And I don't give a damn. I'm sick of this shit where these guys keep on saying that you need to sleep. I've never slept. I've never slept. There's all these things where they're like, optimal sleep, blah, blah, blah. People that I know that sleep a ton are bums. Everybody that I know that like wakes up early and goes and gets shit done, they're like, oh, it's not optimal sleep. I'm like, they're worth millions of dollars and they fucking crush everybody that I know. Where did these studies come from? I don't know anybody who sleeps in who's not a bum. Those people that just like crank out hours of sleep. I sleep 6 hours a night and I nap for like 30 minutes a day. I don't know who the fuck has time to sleep all the time that does anything. And they're like, athletes sleep a ton. I'm like, the bums do. Everybody knows that the good ones, like the Michael Jordans, the Kobe Bryants, whatever, Tiger Wood type guys, they're up grinding all the time. So are these studies just done on like rats and total bums? Because I don't get where the correlate is here. And I've met so many professionals that are just like, oh man, if you could just optimize your sleep and wear this whoop around your nuts and make you a man. I'm like, no, I'm not going to wear your dumb whoop. I'm tired of these stupid fucking sleep studies. I drink a ton of coffee. I have a sugar addiction and sleeping's for pansies. Can we get over this already? Sleep is such a beta male move. I'm going to bring up in the show notes. I really have nothing wrong with this guy, but it did come up in the notes that Andrew Huberman's making a partnership with Gwyneth Paltrow, and this guy's just fucking roasting him. I'm not even going to get into the details because I'm not super interested in what he's saying. But I will say this guy's basically just calling him a turd because he recognizes the fact that you tag on with Gwyneth Paltrow, you can just target a bunch of just unaware of human beings with gigantic words and get them all confused and get them to buy whatever you're selling, like a super expensive supplement regime or super expensive wearables and stuff like that to help optimize your lives. Or you could just enjoy yourself. You could drink more. You could do whatever you want with your life. Let's talk about somebody who didn't optimize their life. Let's go to somebody who didn't listen to any doctors whatsoever. We're going to talk about Babe Ruth today. Let's refresh this. So we're talking about his dietary life. Unconventional. Breakfast, pint of whiskey, ginger ale, sugar, and booze. Let's be honest. No sleep. And what do you do when you wake up from sleep? You soak all of the bad ideas that you had in the middle of the night with ginger ale and a little whiskey. The dude was hitting 90-mile-an-hour balls, by the way. And basically from there, he would have steak, fried eggs. Based on the data that you get from, health professionals, eggs are going to give you cholesterol. They're going to ruin your life. Steak's going to give you cholesterol. It's going to ruin your life. Potatoes, because they've been fried, are going to ruin your life. By the way, like probably ranked top 5 greatest athletes of all time. For lunch, what did he do? They're going to keep on rolling with it. 4 hours later, he would have 2 porterhouse steaks. Oh, guess what? More cholesterol. He should be dead by now. Covered in blue cheese and more fries. Afternoon snack. Let's see what he does here. 4 hot dogs. Oh, yeah. Definitely filled with chemicals. Coca-Cola going to ruin your life. I don't know. I feel like I'm beating a dead horse here. But I feel like everybody I know who's an absolute Billy badass Never paid attention to these rules. My grandfather, he's about to be 96. I'm flying into his house after Phoenix. My grandfather could whoop the shit out of me. The dude never sleeps. He reads books all day long. I was going to bed every single night. I was there last year for his 95th birthday. I would go to bed. I'd be like, hey, pop up, like, I'd just like to say goodnight, and I hope you had a great evening. He'd just be like, away with you, boy, with your weakness trying to go to sleep. He literally would stay up later than me, and he'd just be reading, having the time of his life. Dude will never die. The dude will never die. He will never sleep also. He's 96 years old, still running businesses. He picked me up after High Rocks World Championships in Chicago. I took a train from Chicago to Detroit. Terrible idea. Don't ever get on that train. Makes sense why the United States is so far behind every other major power in the world after riding that train. Not the point of this story. I get off the train. It was 10 o'clock at night. He was having a meeting on his iPad. Man never sleeps. Never. He still like eats peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and donuts and Coca-Colas and stuff. Doesn't listen to any health professional. Or you could take every dollar you have to your name and hire Andrew Huberman and get your sleep adapted or optimized. Pansies. Sorry, guys. Woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Was a little bit of a rant already. How is everybody? Let's see here. Yeah, we can sleep when you're dead. Dude, all my data suggests if I sleep 8 hours and 20 minutes, my performance drops a lot that day. True. All right, let's see here. This is a maze fit. I'm going to open up my watch right now. We're going to see how much Hunter actually slept. Now, admittedly, these things never really tell the truth. Okay, it says 9:12 to 5:01. I will tell you right now, I was up at 3:45 and I was just in bed reading. So that's dead wrong. But let's just say I really fell asleep at 9:12. 77 score. No big deal. Yeah, dude, I always have to start with a rant. I have to start with a rant because I don't feel like anybody's paying attention. I don't feel like anybody's paying attention. And then I sit here in this world and I think to myself, I'm like, am I the only person at this point? Am I the only person? And I exercise just to get these thoughts out of my head. You guys think I give a damn about High Rocks at this point? You're wrong. I have to exercise so that I can singe the tips of my brain cells so that I don't have to continue to think anymore. Because as soon as I start thinking, then I feel like a crazy person. Calorie-wise, I would say that 4,500 to 6,000 calories a day. All right, let's check this out. Plague, I think it's called Plague of Strength. Okay, Plague of Strength. Is this the guy about the Great Gama? All right, let's watch this. I love following this page. I think you guys should check it out, follow it. I don't know this guy. The guy never puts me up on his page. He's a total douche canoe. He's literally shared like every other dog shit athlete on the planet. But I'll never get the time of day to go up on his thing. And you know what? At this point, I don't want to go on there because I'm spiteful. But here's an interesting story. This guy right here, his name's the Great Gama. I absolutely love him. Look at this thick body, baby. What's up? Look at them glutes. Look at those two homies in the background enjoying themselves. This is not a bond of two men that are about to kiss. It's a bond of two men that are about to embrace. And that's even more intimate than kissing. But look how happy they are. Those are smiles you can see underneath the mustache and the freaking broken down integrity of this picture. But enough about that relationship. Wow, 2,000 calories of Jake Seaman. That is offensive. That is offensive. This is not your opportunity to be a homo basher because we don't do that here. We support. But this guy right here is an interesting case. Another one of these things where I think just like some people are like, oh, freak genetics, or you just totally don't listen to the guidelines that these industries try to put on you. Supposedly this guy was consuming 10,000 calories a day and his volume was insane, where they're talking about You know, this guy would run with a 150-pound ring around his neck as like kind of a cool down. That was his cool down training. But it was fueled by 10,000 calories a day, consisting mostly of almonds, milk, and ghee. Now, a ton of this is super, super high fat stuff. Now, that's the only way by metric you're going to be able to get that many calories. Because if you think about it, 1 calorie is worth 1 gram's worth 9 calories in fat. So that's why like ribeyes are comparatively so much more calorie dense than something like a chicken breast. But this guy was able just to keep on cranking. And this dude just fucking was the best. He was the greatest strength athlete and wrestler of his time. It just a total dude babe body. Kind of reminds me of Kyle. Now, I'm going to try to find this here. This is what you guys are eating now. And this is why you guys are such pansies. David bars. This is exactly why you guys all have totally like limp wrists. Like you guys all have bone density issues. What is that called? Where as women age, they get weaker bones. That's most of you guys because you eat things like this instead of ghee. Let's just see something for a second. David Barr, ingredient lawsuit. I think they got caught. I spelled lawsuit wrong. Let's go here. Ooh, osteoporosis. That's what you guys are getting. Men's Health. The big battle over fake fat. Let's see. David Barr wrapped blew away, blah, blah. Where's the lawsuit information? King of protein bars. I think this is the guy that created the RX bar. But I think he got in trouble. Lawsuit alleges simply completely. I thought for sure that these guys got in trouble over having wrong ingredients because guess what? These guys did. And I don't have all the details here. 69 people in the chat. What's up? If basically, this is insane. So many people came to me and were like, Element packets are the best, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I don't know about that. I have nothing against Element. But when you find out that these major companies that make hundreds of millions of dollars get caught giving you fake ingredients and you build your whole life off of it, and then you've got a guy like the great Gama over here who's just got the hottest body in the whole world and could dominate you and turn your bones into dust, and you're over here drinking this shit, thinking that you're healthy. Are you guys starting to catch on this loop? That's true. David bars are for beta males. Yeah, so basically Element got caught with having sugar inside of their drinks when it was supposed to be a low calorie. I think the thing that was really fucked up is they were like considering it to be this magical drink for diabetics. And like clearly you're not supposed to have just packets on packets of sugar. Like even myself a couple of years ago when I was trying to lose weight, I was just ripping these packets. They're delicious. I will not knock them for that. But quality of integrity and all that kind of stuff, let's be real. It was inaccurate calories and grams of protein, lab tested, and it was not accurate. So Run It Up Zach is saying that basically they got in trouble, the David bar. Yeah. If I had to like rank drinks by like levels of alpha, I'm sponsored by Celsius. I would say that's like a tier 8. Tier 10, full gas Monster. No questions asked. Anybody who's drinking white Monsters, they're like, that's it. I'm like, why would you even bother to low cal? Like, why would you want to pull the plug on the fucking rave? You want to have gas going into it. So I'm full gas Monster every single time I want to go like a ride at dawn party. Like if you're going to charge into the enemy camp butt naked and take them on when they're sleeping, full gas Monster. Yeah, I mean, listen, this guy right here said that Hiller, who's a community college teacher, was talking about chemicals in there. This is something I also encounter. I own a supplement company, and the amount of people that attack me for the ingredients that are inside of our products, sucralose, things like that, is off the charts. They're like, I would never drink that. I would never do that to my body. Everything that you touch is a chemical interaction with your body. So if you think that you all of a sudden are like, holier than thou while writing on your fucking iPhone, you're an idiot. While you're dressed in outfits that are leaking chemical dyes and other things into your body, you're an idiot. Unless you live in the woods, butt naked in furs, everything that you're touching is leaking into your body. Your skin, as soon as you put sunscreen on, where do you think it goes? It gets absorbed into your body, just like everything else. While you guys are wearing clothes you exercise in like crazy and you're soaked in sweat, what do you think? You think only things are coming out of your body? Things come back in. You guys are dumb. If you haven't figured that out by now. So I wouldn't even worry. I would just try to eat as much as you can of what you want and then die in the way that you want to. Thompson. Death. Here. Life should not be a journey to the grave with the intention of arriving safely in a pretty and well-preserved body, but rather to skid in broadside in a cloud of smoke, thoroughly used up, totally worn out, and loudly proclaiming, wow, what a ride. Hunter S. Thompson. Jacked up on full gas monster. If you guys haven't set yourself free from the Matrix yet, just go buy Hunter S. Thompson books. He figured it out a long time ago. And you guys are sitting here letting me just regurgitate his stuff. I mean, I'm only a megaphone. I'm just the guy who's spilling it out a little bit louder because he's dead. Right now, I am jacked up on coffee and honey. 2 scoops of hydro from Builder. And if I'm feeling jacked up, I'm probably going to take these nicotine packets that I found in my drawer because it's just a morning. In about 30 minutes, I'm going to go take a bunch of bicarb and I'm going to go to war. All right, guys, let's go into the notes here. I've just been going on a tear thinking about how absolutely unbalanced the soccer world is. I don't even know where to get started. I think, let me just close some things out. Nobody needs to know about Gwyneth Paltrow. Oh, dude, hold on a second. This is something that I think is absolutely hysterical. Listen, I don't think that people having problems is funny, but if we're just going to all accept the fact that nobody gives a damn and no one's going to change this, we might as well talk about it lightly. Now, fentanyl, which is a really just not great thing for anybody to be taking, has become something that is widely abused. And the abbreviation is Fent. And usually people get so banged up on it, they will just be like incapacitated while standing. And this is called a fentanyl. And I have to admit that I went and took a yoga class the other day. I can't touch my toes. I'm an elite athlete. I can barely stand in attention. When I was in military school, they made me stand at attention for a while and I passed out while standing up. It's a weak moment of my life. I don't like to talk about it. But the fact that these guys can stand like this balanced in that kind of version of contortion, impressive. It should be a sport. But I just thought I'd bring that up. I'm impressed. As a man who loves physicality, I'm impressed. Yeah. I mean, dude, listen, I can't hold the bar over my head while doing an overhead squat properly. This guy's spinal alignment, I mean, any yoga school would recruit this guy in a heartbeat. Look at that. Just saying. Could be the next I don't even know how this popped up, by the way. Honestly, not trying to bait anything, but for some reason, half of the links that I recruited for you guys ended up just being this. So my phone just wanted me to look at babes picking up bars, and we'll watch it because we're a show in a room full of men. And this girl's actually a beast, but just saying, I did not put that there. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. That is a mobility miracle. Honestly, before we get into the whole soccer thing, Keeping It Real contacted me the other day because I made the mistake of giving him my phone number. And he admitted to me he's still fat. Now, he's using the methodologies of CrossFit. Flawed, massively flawed. He has a patron saint, Hiller, massively flawed. And what's happened to him is he's just gone off the path of greatness, which is inside of this room right here. I've tried to create opportunity for him, and I gave him the opportunity to take a bet where he scanned his body fat, and he had the chance to win a bunch of cash off me because he says that, you know, he knows more than I do and CrossFit's better. This is what happens. You go up against a great wall and you lose every time. And I'm sorry that you're fat, brother. So watch this arrangement of things I found. I wasn't looking for it, but I just want you to see how crazy the sport of football is. Like hobo football, not American, the great backbone of this country's sport football, where gigantic, handsome men go to battle every week for our entertainment. I'm talking about just a bunch of dirty countries over in Europe passing the time in similar colored shirts. I want you to see how poorly behaved these savages are. Check this out. Bam! And the fact that he continued to run forward is incredible. Okay, watch this. Look at the cock. You see that foot coming forward right here? This is the weapon. This right here is basically like the bowstring getting pulled forward. Help up. Oh, so you guys can see full contact here. This right here is barbaric. You guys who play this sport and watch it and think that it's cool is wild. Because the thing is like doing this, I respect it. Men got to talk sometimes with their hands. But then the thing that gets really confusing is that you guys use this opportunity to delay the game all the time with fake injuries. So which is it? Okay. Then this one's really freaking weird. Morocco versus Senegal. Savages. Just beating the shit out of the crowd and everything. Crazy. For some reason, they're stealing the goaltender's towel. This homie had to fight off of all of Morocco to protect the goaltender's towel, which I respect. Like, if you're going to be on a team, you better be a teammate. And this dude basically defended. Look at this. The guys keep on stealing the towels. Dirty move. This is like a dirty move. You can't get away with that American football because you will get spear tackled by a 300-pound man. But just crazy. Another crazy thing about this sport. This one's weird. So look at this. You can see this guy right here in the stripes is very clearly just messing with the guy in the red, pulling him, and then he pushes him off. And then this guy gets the red card. So the referees don't make any sense either. The amount of references that I can give you guys at this sport just sucks. Is crazy. But I'm going to the World Cup this summer, but only to witness it face to face. Watch again. Watch again. Clearly, this guy in the red has control of the ball. The guy in the stripes has hands on him. Hands. You see that black thing right there? That's a hand on him. Pulling back, pulling him. He's got his shirt. He's clearly just locked up, and he pushes him off. And then this ref over here, look at the stance, by the way. You could not get away with that in the United States as American ref, because that right there, whichever way you swing, is a crazy way to display a penalty. The arm, the way that his fingers are holding that card right there, crazy. The way that he has his toe lightly tapping with the support hand on the hip, double crazy. Good God. It just keeps on going on. What's this one? This one. Oh my God. Who the fuck kicked somebody in the head? This is the dirtiest sport. You guys are crazy. It just goes on forever. Okay, here's a real sport, though. Okay, look at that. You let that happen, and then the boys really just go to war. See, everything else that we just witnessed was just these little toe-tapping, dirty tricks that you guys like to play in the sport of football. These guys settle it. There's blood everywhere. I don't know what to tell you. We lost half the audience as soon as I started talking about football. That's how much Americans hate this. Okay, I'll talk one more thing about football that I think is wild. I don't even know if this is true, but this is coming from CBS Morning, so I'm assuming that it's somewhat reputable. But supposedly Neymar just acquired $1 billion from a stranger who's never met him before. The guy passed away and sent all of his money to Neymar. That is wild. I hope that there's some kind of High Rocks super fan of me that passes away and just sends me $1 billion. I don't really need to spend it on anything except for more turtlenecks, which is necessary for you guys as the listeners to enjoy yourselves. But God dang, dude, that is a story. I want to see if there's anything else that I really just wanted to talk about. One last soccer thing. These chicks right here. Witness the fitness. That right there, that's full extension. Just saying. Oh, God, it feels good. I got to get going in a second here, guys. Oh, this is another crazy story. So this guy right here, Matthew Melanaro, 2018 NCAA D3 800-meter champion, was just charged with first-degree murder after killing some dude basically involved with his lady. Police discovered Babelia's body in December 31st, 2025, after his girlfriend requested a welfare check. Multiple stab wounds. Damn, man. The running world is savage. Now, those football players, they do it on the field. If you're a runner, like, don't you guys remember a couple years ago when that chick shot and killed that professional cyclist because she was sleeping with her man in Austin? Endurance athletes are sick and twisted. They don't do it out on the field like the rest of the players do. They do it behind the scenes, all extra violent. And I would probably say, if you had to pick any kind of sport with like the highest level of mental illness or just insanity, illness is probably the wrong word. I don't like that. People that are a little bit more twisted than the rest of us, for sure, endurance sports. It's got to be. It's got to be. I think that the majority of the time when I'm traveling around the world, if I meet ball sport athletes, they're just there to have a good time with the homies. Like, I've become friends with a lot of guys in the AFL, Australian Football League, for anybody who's not aware of that. They're just boys. They're lads trying to have a good time. Rebecca Cheptegei. I'm going to look that up. Hold on. Rebecca Chep. Hold on, Chep. Okay, let's see what here. Ooh. What's this? What happened? Killed. What is this? Whoa. The hell? Olympic runner dies after a fire attack. Set on fire by her boyfriend. Shit. That is wild. So yeah, I don't know. I'm a hybrid athlete. I'm safe. But those traditionalists, those sick and twisted traditionalists, just monostructural, independent, twisted. All right. We'll go through some more of these notes. Oh, this is crazy. This is kind of part of the same thing that I was talking to you guys about earlier. But basically, this guy just got caught making protein powders at his house. Thank you, Max Artist, for sending this. He had this kind of cult following of a very special protein powder that everyone loved. And he was mixing it at his house. It would be sold at gyms. You had to really get to know him. Holmes Nutrition. Yeah, this guy, just did everything kind of by himself, private batch setup. I don't know if I fully would trust anybody who's mixing up protein powders and stuff in their own house, unless it was just like a smart, evil scientist. Matt Morton is the only person I'd probably trust, and that guy's an absolute legend. But they basically just found out that this guy who had this successful protein company was just giving people cake batter. And if I had to be honest, and I mean this truthfully, it's probably the best thing for them. Most people are chronically underfueling high levels of performance. This is the second time we're going to go around this loop. But the great Gama, 10,000 calories a day, greatest strength training athlete and wrestler of his time, basically, was eating like crazy. You guys probably need the calories so you can go get a sick pump. If you guys go look up the legend, Sam Sulek. This guy is just crunching out. Look at that hot dude bod. That dude's just crunching out tons of maltodextrin before he goes to compete, which basically cake batter is. Let's just be honest. And, I can't really say I'm super upset with the guy. I can't. It's funny how our viewership started to go up just a little bit as soon as we put pictures of Sam Sulek online. Let's go. Everybody likes a good dude body. Maria, the girl that modeled and fast as fucking short distance, Maria Mihilange. All right, I'm gonna give this. I'm having fun with the crowd today. Let's go. Spell that out again. I lost it. Maria. Shit, I got my hands crooked on the keyboard. Maria and Miha. Fuck. All right. Is she really good, though? Like, listen, she's a babe. But is this just a babe wearing track and field outfits, or is she like a beast? Let's see if we can do stats. I'm not a hater. I just want to get to the bottom of this. She's from Romania. We should all be there right now. Let's be honest. I don't know how to read these results. 60 meters in 7.3 seconds. Topless, 57th place. I don't know what that means. Well, Balkan indoor champion. National champion 11 times. Are there like 5 people running it, though? I don't know. We need stats. She did worlds. Okay. Guys, listen up. I'm not being a hater. I'm just trying to get to the bottom of this with you guys. Okay? No judgment. What we will judge about, though, is looking how much money triathletes make. $338,000, $369,000. So chick made the most amount of money. That's uncommon. You guys are always complaining about that. I want more money. Well, get into triathlon. Stop dribbling basketballs. Quit your complaining. Okay? Here's another chick who made a bunch of money. What's the attitude about? Maybe you're in the wrong sport. I am. I don't complain. I just talk about it. Okay? I talk about it. I do something about it. I get a real job. Complainers. But that same story comes across over here. Oh, that's a good Ronnie story. But let's see here. There's something I wanted to share. Ooh, that's a horse one. Okay, now this is the real thing. If you guys are going to complain about money, 353, this is a bit of a different stat to the last one we just saw. $1.42 million. This guy here right here does not have a jawline. His head is shaped like a potato. Physically, he ain't it. But inside of this brain that is constantly fueled by probably potato chips, Funyuns, Coca-Cola, other high intensity beverages, enhancing beverages, this dude's making basically 5 times as much. He's a beast. He's a beast. He's optimized. And he's not broke. This dude's probably driving around in G-Wagons, towing Lamborghinis filled with babes. Christian Blumenfeld is running for his life because he knows that at the end of this train, it's just Norway. He's just going to be sat in Norway in the cold with old tri-bikes. This guy, on the other hand, is probably going to have a plethora of mansions surrounding the Mediterranean area. And he's probably going to spend the next 40 to 50 years, if he can survive this period, making millions of dollars chucking darts. Okay? There's good decisions and bad decisions. You're just the ones making the bad ones. This is pretty solid. I'm not going to lie. I never had the guts to do this. And I'm kind of disappointed because in reality, of all the things that I got in legal trouble for, nothing really ever is as memorable as this. Like, I don't get to share it with my friends and have pictures on my wall and put in my office and show my children and say, hey, listen, your dad had the guts. These guys are iconic. And you're probably only going to get a fine and maybe just permanently banned from that stadium. Just do it in a stadium. It doesn't matter. Most of them, actually. I guess we'll just kind of go through this run right here. I'm not going to lie. Great White Hope. I'm proud of you, dude. This guy right here is absolutely killing it, winning and setting a European record in the Valencia 10K. The dude set the European record in the Valencia half marathon, European record as well. He didn't set the record there, but he set the European record. He's a freak, absolute freak. If anybody is into endurance sports, you guys should track this guy. This right here, Kiplimo just won his 3rd back-to-back cross-country championship. And the way that he ran, he basically made the rest of the world kind of just disappear. Now, it's kind of interesting. These guys didn't win world championships. The guy who won I think it was the 5K world championship or the 10K world championship for France, a white guy, got smoked. These guys just have this epic ability to just tear up that backwood area, jumping over things and whatever it may be. These guys smoked the field. Smoked it. Rory Linkletter setting the Canadian half marathon record in Houston. Proud of him. Breaking 60 minutes is savage. Super savage. He did not get the Canadian marathon record, but he got the Canadian half marathon record shortly thereafterwards. But I'm proud of this dude. Local legend. Jake Dearden. He was setting out for a 2:19 half marathon or 2:18, and he got the 2:22 with 8 seconds, almost got into the 2:21s. Dude's super talented. Freak. Just absolute freak. He's actually going to be training with us later on this week, and he's just, dude's dialed. I'm proud to say that I've watched this guy just keep on cranking it and adapting and overcoming. And he went from like a couple years ago where like I was outrunning this guy, and now this guy is, whoo. I ain't running no 222s. Dude's a beast. God, you guys are vicious. Are you guys saying that Jake Dearden looks like a lesbian? This is interesting. Looks like Tadej Pogačar received basically Champions des Champions title. I think that's like a champions of all champions. And I guess that's just like a ranking across all the greatest athletes of the year. If you had to really measure this guy based off of his dominance this year, it's insane. You know, other athletes will like set records and things like that, but it looks like a struggle sometimes, like they're off one day, on one day. This guy has just been on. If it wasn't for like Matthew Vanderpool, like defending maybe like 1 or 2 races against him, this guy won pretty much every single event throughout the year. He had the most dominant finish, I think, in maybe Tour de France history, or at least recently. And supposedly he's clean. So you got to give it to him. Oh, no. I know why. What the hell? Some creepy guy in the comments talking about my private life. Why don't you shut your mouth? Okay. Not going to lie. There's a lot of like CrossFit chicks that I'm like, whoa, you're impressive. If you ever want to just be impressed by, if you guys ever want to be impressed by like female athletes, ignore CrossFitters, even ignore Olympic lifters. Just go look at the female track and fields athletes and like NCAAs and the Olympics. They are so flipping strong. I can't remember the name of the girl. She's a 2-time Olympic gold medalist in the discus. And I watched a video of her power cleaning 275, like just Ripley Peterson. My best power clean was 295. And this girl doesn't weigh nearly as much as me. And she's just chucking a discus across the world. I'm not going to lie. This has nothing to do with fitness, but this guy right here is a licensed pharmacist in 4 states, and he tests one of the honey packet pills. And these are basically like kind of like rhino boner pills. And really, you guys should try to go find this. His name's Grant something. Grant Harton. Yeah. He eats this thing to see what happens, because you never know if those gas station pills really get it going on. You just see them there and they're always trying to sell it to you. This guy goes through the way that he feels over the next couple hours and basically just admits that it very clearly is working. And I got to admit, this is like, you know, those people that just kind of sit there and try to vlog and tell you about their life. This has to be one of my favorite guys. This is great. He's talking about his head burning, how he can feel like he's totally getting out of control here. The fact that this guy finally had the guts, like we buy people as a joke those rhino boner pills and we just gift it to them, you know, for the holidays or something like that. No one's had the gut to take them. But this guy did. I don't think there's anything else I have to share with you guys other than wait. Oh, this. Let's just watch it one more time. That's a human body. Full somersault. Soccer is barbaric. You guys are sick and twisted. Okay? It's not even a sport. It's felonious. Yeah, I know. We should have shown it. Yeah, I know, dude, but this girl over here is just trying to be shameful. I don't know if there are 13-year-old girls power cleaning 275. Sounds like hogwash. And they're in China. Can't trust it. Can't trust it. All right. Enough out of me. I had a great time. Guys, remember, Snorri says this show is never going to succeed. If you guys care, you will like and leave comments after the show, and you will share, because we have to fight against Snorri. Snorri is my manager, and if I cannot get this thing to be a little bit more substantial, I don't do it for the sake of feeling substantial. I do it for you guys. And if you guys can't help elevate this thing and send it to your mom, your mom's friends, your mom's friends, local church groups, then we're in trouble. You guys immediately need to go after the show, comment, like, share all times, because Snorri's going to shut me down and I will have to stop. I have a bet against him. You guys need to stand up for me, okay? Because I show up for you. I try to tell you interesting stories. I try to relay information. If I told you guys all the things I was really thinking about, I would be in jail. We'd all be in jail, okay? That's going to be another time. Those are going to be like private meetups at bus stops. You definitely can send this to your mother. Oh, shit. Snorri's on here. I don't even know if that's true, but if that is Snorri, he is fucking pissed. I've already told you guys we're in trouble. He was watching the whole time. But I feel like I've gotten my 2 cents out for the day. I woke up way too early to do this, and now I got to go to war. Got to pay the bills. Guys, I had fun. Hugs and kisses.